So good evening. I'm Ingrid Nichols with Banwell Architects, and we've been working with the building committee, the faculty, the city, the school board, and anyone else that we can actually talk to about this project.
And everybody here, Ingrid, this is not an amplifying microphone.
Oh, it's not?
You can't hear her. Please raise your hand so you can speak up, Ingrid.
Okay, will do. So this is just a photo of some of your existing conditions of your school. You can see the efflorescence on the brick where your flashing is failing. The actual entrance, your main entrance, is not accessible to people with disabilities, and you have very limited parking. This is an aerial shot that shows the deterioration of some of your roofs. A lot of your roofs have been replaced, so we won't be touching those. This is another shot of your existing building. It's actually a very beautiful building, and we are only adding 2 new small areas. We're adding a new main entry to make it accessible with people with disabilities, as well as a new event entry that we're calling on the side. So that's a picture of your existing main entry. Some of the proposed site features that we are proposing to upgrade as part of this warrant article. The new entry, as I talked about in those both locations. A new bus loop, so the bus loop would be separated from the parent drop-off. Better parking layout, a slight increase in your number of parking spaces. Improved and safer pedestrian walkways so that when you park your car, there are designated crosswalks to the areas to get into the building. We're trying to retain as much green space along the main street so that we don't have a huge parking lot that takes over that green space. We also want to balance the new impervious area of the entries with adding more green space and trees in your parking. And we have started preliminary talks with the city, the planning office, zoning office, fire department to try to put things on the table so we address the issues. So this is a quick picture of your existing site plan. The building is here. This is your main entry. This is the parking lot that we are reconfiguring, and the new event entry would be over here. This is the SAU building. So our new parking layout and bus drop-off will be in this location, so we are taking a little bit of that green space there. So this is the new layout. It shows a one-way angled parking. We're demolishing that shed in the back, creating these raised, painted pedestrian walkways into this new event entry that goes into the gym and auditorium. ADA parking next to these main entrances, and ADA parking here. The boiler facility will be a biomass facility. And we demolished this old coal chute to add more parking here, and they'll be sending the pellets actually into the sub-basement where your old huge boilers are right now. This is your new bus drop-off, so we have a double queue bus drop-off, which is separated by a green area, and the parent drop-off would come in right off the street here. And this is the expanded parking that I was talking about, as well as adding more ADA areas there. This green space doesn't exist. This whole lot is just kind of paved over. So we're adding this green space with trees and an area for underground oil or propane tanks.
Excuse me, that area is already paved?
Yes.
So you're gonna take the pavement out?
Right,
Have
see-
it repaved in green on top of that?
Correct. The existing lot, which is shown right there, the entire thing is paved. We are getting more spaces in a better layout and still adding green space. So this is an existing floor plan of your basement area, and I do have boards that I'll have after, so you can come up and see those. This is the proposed basement plan. This is the boiler section. This is where the parking was I was talking about. So the new pellet boilers would go in this same location here. All the green are classroom spaces. The purple are administration spaces. The yellow colors public spaces. And the red is a new kitchen where your current kitchen is right here. So we're building a new kitchen in this location and expanding your cafeteria so that more kids can actually eat in your cafeteria. Adding 2 openings here so that when you have events in the gym, it can be opened up, so this is all one space. This stage will have a new operable partition so that performances can go on here, and it will increase the capacity to 1,500 so people can watch it from the gym and the auditorium. Excuse me. The band room was actually redone, so we have no changes there. This is the new event entry with a ramp to get up here, with 2 new game bathrooms. And the locker rooms will be refurbished with new low-flow plumbing fixtures, new flooring, paint, and all the bathrooms throughout the facility will be upgraded for new plumbing and ADA. This is the existing first floor, main floor plan. So one of the big issues is security. So in designing this new entry with steps as well as a lift that goes up a half a story, this is the administration pod here with a nurse. So there would be a check-in here so that you get a buzz in and you have cameras. All the doors during school would be locked and alarmed. And you have cameras and site security lighting throughout the facility. This is the drama area, classrooms, auditorium, gym, family and consumer science. And just a general note, you currently have 26 classrooms. We have upgraded the classrooms to be an 800 square foot minimum size. So we've increased the number of classrooms to actually 31, so that you have more flexibility in scheduling. By not adding any new space, it's all still within the walls. Existing second floor. The media center is a beautiful media center. We're just doing mechanical and electrical upgrades there. The business suite is here for the business classes. We're correcting some deficiencies of code in terms of having to go through a classroom to get to another classroom, so those are gone. This area here, this wall on both of the stories is a very thin wall that actually you can push. So we're rebuilding this wall and reorienting these classrooms so they are the 800 square foot minimum. Overheating and noise is an issue on the south side. So you'll see these dashed lines represent solar sunshades. And we will also be upgrading the entire envelope. We'll take off the inside face of the wall. We'll add spray foam insulation, add new windows, and put up new drywall so that it takes the sun and solar heat gain off these classrooms so that you don't have to air condition them, but they'll be a lot cooler. The art room's here, and a couple classrooms and bathrooms. And this is the top floor. Another big piece of this puzzle that we were trying to figure out was trying to put like functions together. So right now, your science rooms are kind of all over the place, and now this would be your science pod. So we retrofit them, and I told the faculty when I reviewed the plans with them, it's just preliminary. We still need to go through the plans with them to make sure all their needs are met, but this is our concept design for it. Green areas are classrooms again, and this section is the same as the floor below. Another item that we found, there was a centralized stair here. You have a stair here, a stair here, a stair here, and a stair here. So by code, you didn't really need that stair. So we've actually reused that as storage, office, conference on the different floors. So again, just a recap, 800 square foot classrooms, the heat and noise issues we've dealt with, the roofs, we've consolidated storage. If you walk through the school today, you'll see storage throughout the corridors and in classrooms and everywhere. So we've consolidated it so that it's not a fire hazard. Finish upgrades. The science rooms will be completely redone. Cafeteria and kitchen we talked about. All the code issues will be dealt with. Fire department issues, ADA, doors, ratings. We'd get rid of the hazardous materials, lead paint, asbestos, etc. Security upgrades, I think I talked about most of those. And the biggest piece of this entire project is basically gutting your mechanical and electrical systems because of code violations, they're outdated, they're noisy, they're not working. So this proposal completely redoes entire mechanical, plumbing, and electrical systems. Obviously, if you've gotten newer equipment in the last, 1 to 6 years or so, we'd salvage that stuff, we wouldn't just throw it away. But predominantly, it's all new. Removal of underground oil tanks, new plumbing fixtures throughout, new or upgraded sprinkler system, entire new electrical. Energy improvements. Throughout the entire process, we are always talking about what we can do, what makes sense, what the payback is, that initial cost versus what you're going to save. So the biomass facility is one big one. New windows, new insulation, new roof insulation where we're replacing the roofs, and decreased maintenance costs due to new low maintenance floors. We will, if this is passed, investigate solar hot water. We'll use low VOC materials so that you have better air quality. Propane use, low flow plumbing fixtures and even waterless urinals. Replace light fixtures where needed and air seal. Spaces we are not touching, the music room, the gym. You have a beautiful, wonderful gym. Saw it in the Valley News. I think it was today. And we're basically just doing mechanical upgrades to that gymnasium. The auditorium, the same thing, except in the auditorium, the wooden seats will be replacing those. And your roofs, some of your roofs. So these are a list of some of the items that we would need to do regardless of if this bond vote was passed. So these are some artist renderings of the new main entry here. We'd be salvaging your beautiful new entry in the columns because they're just amazing pieces of architecture and pulling them out to this new entry so that it's at grade and adding windows here so it's a nice, light, bright, and airy. The brick would be cleaned. We would have all new windows, and the windows would be more historic in nature, the way they used to be when it was originally built. The biomass system itself would utilize that existing chimney, and you wouldn't have any sort of hopper or anything outside, so it still looks beautiful. And down here you can see the event entry here. This is the expanded parking area, and right here you can see a back of a bus, but we didn't want time to build. This is a blow-up of basically the front of the building. And this is a picture of the event entry.